everybody, my name is Kaylie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay everybody, hello, long time no see. I hope that all of you had an amazing Christmas Eve, Hanukkah, Rosh Hashanah, I think, maybe? I don't know. But I'm here with a new video, and y'all, yes, change of scenery again. I don't know if we're gonna stay here. Probably, I think this might be the permanent spot for this apartment, but you never know with me, to be honest. So here we are. Another thing, y'all, we're almost at 300,000 subscribers. Like, this doesn't feel real right now. So thank you guys so much for all of the love and support, all of the DMs that you guys send me, and I have seen a lot of you guys saying that you've sent in story times. For some reason, the submission thing that it goes through is kind of acting a little bit slow, so if you guys sent me in story times, just give me a little bit, be a little bit patient, because sometimes the submission sheets can be like a few days behind. I just like have to check real quick and see how many subscribers we're at right now. Let's see. Ugh, it's gonna make me download this app. Oh, never mind. Okay, you guys, so we are at 299,398 subscribers. That is insane. And there are a lot of new people here, so hello and welcome. I hope that you guys have been enjoying my videos. I feel like my channel is more of a you find my channel and you binge watch the videos type of thing. So I hope that y'all have enjoyed binge watching my videos if you have been. But it is currently New Year's Eve, and in today's video, we are going to be doing more of a go out sexy glam little look, so no crazy makeup look today. But without further ado, let's get into today's story time. I'm going to bring you guys up close. There we go. Okay, so for those of you who may be new here, we are going to be doing my quick usual little rundown. For most of the video, I will be looking in this direction because my mirror's over here and I would like to see what I'm doing. I do tell these story times at a first person point of view, so if you don't like that, then you can leave.
There's the door. There's the door, bitch!
And these story times are sent in by anonymous people. Okay, so story time about how my boyfriend was obsessed with an OnlyFans girl and cheated on me with that OnlyFans girl. And low-key stalked that OnlyFans girl. Yeah. I feel like I should put this mic on the headband again. I think it worked last time that I did it. No, maybe I should just put it backward. Okay, so a little background information. I was 22 whenever this whole situation happened, but we're gonna rewind back to whenever I was like 15 to give you guys a little backstory of how my boyfriend and I met. And trust me, I know I make a lot of terrible decisions in this story time and I wish I had an excuse for it, but I don't, so yeah. Okay, so whenever I was 15, I got into a fight with one of my best friends who was like a goody two-shoes because I started hanging out with this one girl and I smoked weed once and then my best friend thought that I pretty much gone. Like, she thought that a bong was right next to a crack pipe. So yeah, she was like, no, I can't be friends with you anymore. So then I started hanging out with the girl who I smoked weed with almost every day. And that's whenever I was introduced to one of my really good friends, Jay. And Jay was the one who would always pretty much get us weed. But the one night I text him and I'm like, hey, I need some lettuce. Could you get it for me? And he was like, no, sorry, not tonight, but I can have one of my other friends bring it to you. Well, this is whenever I met Matt, who was 18 at this time. Nothing crazy, you know, he just came, dropped some stuff off to my house, and then dipped. And I bought from him a few more times after that, but we never hung out or anything. Well, fast forward 2 months after I met him, Jay and a few of my other friends practically begged me to sneak out of my house and come to this one party. And the reason why they had to beg me was because my parents grounded me after they found my stash. So I snuck out of my house and I go to this party with them. And it was probably around 10 o'clock at night whenever I got there. So fast forward to like 2:30 in the morning. Everybody is outside at the fire. Meanwhile, Matt, this girl Mackenzie, and I were all inside just talking and hanging out. And I got a little bit hungry, so I told them, hey, I'm gonna walk down to the store real quick. I'll be back in probably like 20 minutes. And then Matt goes, oh, I'll take you because I want to get something too. I'm like, okay. Well, then Mackenzie says, oh, I want to go too. and Matt was like, oh, I was gonna drive us and I don't have enough room in my car, sorry. And this girl looked pissed, and you could tell that she had a huge crush on Matt. The only thing was, you couldn't tell if he liked her back, because sometimes the energy was reciprocated and sometimes it wasn't. So it was kind of a little bit, it's giving everybody mixed signals, to be honest. Anyways, so, you know, of course, I get a dirty look from this girl. I don't really know her that well, to be honest. I don't even think that she went to my school. I think that she went to another school. But yeah, so we go outside and get into his car, and I look back in the back seat and I'm like, oh, it looks like there's enough room for her. He was like, oh shit, yeah, I guess there is. And I'm like, if you want, I can call her. And he was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And at this point, I'm kind of like, no, it's either you really hate that bitch or you want to be alone with me. Yeah, so I asked him, I was like, oh, like, do you not like her? And he was like, no, like, she's like a cool girl and all, but she just gets on my nerves sometimes. And I'm like, oh. And then I tell him, I'm like, oh, well, you could definitely tell that she likes you. And he's like, yeah, I know, but I don't really think of her like that. I think of her as a friend, Now, this is the part where I become obsessed with this man. So pretty much, we get to the store, and listen, I knew that he was a bad kid, okay? I knew that he was known for scamming and selling drugs and robbing people, but I just thought that it was like, you know, small stuff, right? Nothing cray-cray. Well, bitch, I was wrong. So, you know, I get my stuff, and I'm waiting by the door for him, and when he sees me standing there, he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I was gonna wait for you to get your stuff. He was like, no, go to the car. And I'm like, okay, sure. Go to the car. And I'm sitting there in the car. 5 minutes goes by. I get off my fucking phone, get out the car, and look through the store window. This man is robbing the fucking gas station.
Ooh, that'll do it. You don't have to worry about me. You do not have to worry about me.
Y'all, he's robbing the gas. I'm literally not even joking. He has a gun held up to the cashier, and I just see the cashier taking money out the fucking cash register. And I'm like, oh, fuck. What did I just get myself into? Seriously, y'all. I was in absolute shock, because what the fuck? So then I was like, okay, do I stay? Do I go in there? Do I get back in the car? Do I run? Do I call the police? Well, I sure as hell wasn't calling the fucking police. He would have got out of jail, came and found me next. And then I didn't want to just leave, because I was like, I think him and I are friends now. Friends don't do that to their friends. And then I didn't want to go in there because I did not want to get in the middle of whatever he was trying to do. So in this case, what do? I get my ass back in that car and act like I didn't see shit. Yep, that is exactly what the fuck I did. And yeah, 'cause no. The fuck? Anyways, so 5 more minutes passes. He comes out. He bolts out of there, runs in the car, starts up the car. We are driving and we pass our friend's house. And I'm like, hey, where are we going? What the fuck? And he's like, oh, they didn't have what I needed there, so we're gonna go to another store real quick. And, yeah, I didn't say anything after that, because I'm like, what am I gonna say? What am I gonna do? Confront this man that I barely know about the fact that he just robbed a gas station? Like, absolutely not. I don't know him. I don't know his temper. Fuck no. Now, I know you guys are probably sitting here wondering, Kaylee, what the fuck does this have to do with this story time? Like, what's going on here? Why are we here? Because I just need to show you guys what type of man this was. Also, wanted to explain the fact that this is kind of why I liked him. I know that sounds so fucked up, guys, that I like him because he robbed a gas station. No, I think it was just, if you've never liked a bad boy, a criminal, a felon, you don't know. You just won't get it. I'm telling you right now, you won't get it. So the least that I can try and do is explain to you guys who have never had an attraction to that. After this, he asked me to be his girlfriend like a few weeks later. And I say yes because around him, I felt protected. Not only that, but people really respected him. And I'm sorry, but I find it attractive to walk into a room and have my man be the one who controls the energy in the room. Anyway, so yeah, that's how my boyfriend and I met. That's how we started dating. And yeah, so fast forward to whenever I am 18 and he is 21, I decide that I'm gonna go to esthetician school. And I also really love photography, so I did that on the side as well, just as a little side hustle. I would mostly do like weddings, and people would come to me to get their senior pictures done if they didn't want to pay like full price at an actual photographer place. Anyways, Matt and I are still together. He still is scamming and selling drugs and robbing people. And trust me, I have tried to convince him to do stuff with his life, but every time that I would try to convince him to actually take a, change career paths, he would tell me no. Like, once you get in this shit, it's hard to get out, blah, 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 this, that, and the next. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Not gonna fight with you about it. Don't care. So, from the time that we started dating up until now, whenever I was 18, we've had some issues. AKA, I've caught him cheating on me a few times. I would say probably like 6 times with all different girls. And there are probably more that I don't know about, but yeah. I'm not going to tell you guys who these girls were, but one of them was literally my guidance counselor. Yeah. And he wasn't a student or anything, so I couldn't go batshit crazy and tell the school. Not only that, I don't think I would have told the school because I'm actually afraid of what he would have done to me. Because y'all, I caught this man cheating once by going through his phone. Let me tell you guys something. I never confronted that man ever again. Because he took that phone out of my hand and he threw it at my fucking head.
Don't be shocked. You're shocked? You're shocked?
I had like a black eye because he threw the phone at my face. Yeah. So yeah, I never confronted him about cheating ever again, or at least anything that I found in his phone, because yes, I was still going through that man's phone. I don't give a fuck. Because in my head, I thought about it in a way as, hopefully, if I keep finding him cheating, which I did, maybe I might get the strength to leave him or something. Anyway, so the one night I decide to go through his phone while he's sleeping, and that's whenever I find a fake Instagram account. That's his, obviously. So I go on there and I see that he is following a ton of OF models. And as I was going through these girls' profiles, I expected them to be like famous celebrity OF models and stuff like that. Which honestly, I wish I would have found that instead, because it would have made me less worried about him being able to cheat on me. But no, of course not. These were not girls who wouldn't give him a second look. These were girls that didn't have a huge following, and a lot of them were actually local, which pissed me off even more, because I'm like, well, fuck. So then I go and I look at his DMs. There were a few girls that he had started conversations with that actually messaged him back that he never answered. Not because he didn't see the messages or anything, but I guess he just didn't want to. But there was one girl that he was messaging religiously. Like, this man was swiping up on all of her stories. Good morning, gorgeous. You're so beautiful. Let me take you out on a date sometime. Our kids would be so cute. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Ridiculous. And then, of course, I go and look, and he is subscribed to all these women. Also, these girls were barely of age. Like, the one that he kept messaging religiously, she was only 18 years old. I'm like, what the fuck? And at this point, my boyfriend is 25 years old. Really embarrassing. Anyways, so fast forward a little bit, I would say like 3 months after I found that, I go through his phone again and I go through his pictures, and y'all, he's stalking this girl. Literally stalking her. Like, I'm going through his camera roll and I'm seeing pictures of him sitting outside of it. Like, this is like some You type shit from Netflix, okay? He's sitting in his car, like a picture's being taken from inside of his car, of this girl, who we're gonna call Kayla, sitting in a fucking restaurant eating with her friends. And that was like at 1 PM. And then at 3 PM that same day, pictures of him walking behind her in the mall. And now I'm sitting here and I'm getting a little bit like worried. I'm like, okay, bro, what the fuck is wrong with my man? Like, what do you even do at that point? Leave. Yeah, I know. Okay, y'all are gonna be like, leave him, leave him. I love this man. Fuck off. And at this point, like, I seriously don't know what to fucking do. So that's whenever I call Jay up, because him and I were still really good friends. He was way better friends with Matt, but I needed some fucking advice and I knew that I could always count on him. So I text him, hey, emergency, I really need to talk to you. And he's like, okay, you know, hold on, I'll give you a call, blah, blah, blah. So while Matt's sleeping, I go outside and Jay calls me and I'm like, hey, I don't know what to fucking do. Matt is stalking a 18-year-old girl who does OnlyFans. And he's like, oh, what's her name? And I'm like, I think her name is Kayla. And he was like, oh yeah, he's like, I already told him that he needs to stop that shit because he's been sending me the pictures that you probably found of him following her. And I'm like, so here's the thing, right? I know you guys are probably thinking, bitch, go off on him. Why the fuck didn't he tell you? We all made like a pact that we couldn't ask Jay anything about each other. Because there was a point in our relationship where things were really going south because one of us would tell Jay something, Jay would accidentally tell the other person that thing, and then, yeah, it was just a whole fucking shit show, if I'm being honest. So I didn't get mad at him, but I'm like, okay, well, Jay, I need to know what the fuck to do. And then I'm like, what else has he been doing with these OnlyFans girls or with this one specifically? He's like, you know, I don't want to tell you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, listen, I won't go to him, okay? Because I'm pretty sure that if I confront him about this shit, he's going to punch me in the fucking face.
He gonna get me.
So can you just tell me? And he's like, all right, well, this, that, and the next is going on. He's been following her for like 3 months now. 3 months now. Not only has he been following her for 3 months, he put a tracker on this girl's car. Yeah, guys. So this is whenever I decide, okay, I'm about to take matters into my own hands. Yeah, whenever he was doing a drop-off, you know, whenever he had to go make a play, I called the police on him and reported him, like his tags. I was like, yeah, he's driving crazy. And I just saw him throw a bag of white powder out the car. That was me. I drove and I threw a white powder out the fucking car. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, it's like right by this stop sign on this street and blah, 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 blah. So they caught him and he actually had like a lot of coke on him. So he went to jail.
Ooh, you know I had to double it.
Yep. He went to jail. He didn't go to jail for that long though. Like 2 months at most. I keep forgetting that this does not have a mirror. So yeah, and then he was on house arrest whenever he came home. So I figured this might be the perfect moment to confront him. Cause dude can't leave the house. Now that I think about it, if you guys question why I didn't just confront him about it before, like over the phone or something and then leave. Well, it's because I didn't want him to leave me. Like, I really had a fear of this man breaking up with me. I don't know why. I just loved him so much that I thought that it was love. But, you know. Anyway, so the one night we're sitting down watching a movie, and while we're laying there, I see his phone go off, and it's an Instagram DM from somebody, and I didn't even care if it was from a bitch or not. I figured, all right, time to confront this motherfucker. So I get up, I turn the TV off, and I'm like, we need to talk. And he's like, what do we need to talk about? Like, can it wait till after the movie? And I'm like, no, it can't. And you put your hands on me, I'm calling the fucking police, and you'll go back to jail. And he just looks at me with this dumb look on his face. He's like, and I'm like, yeah, go to fucking jail. Again, ho. And I'll tell him about your fucking stash. Don't play with me. Anyways, so he's like, what do you want to talk about? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with you stalking an 18-year-old girl from OnlyFans? Also, what's up with you fucking harassing her on Instagram? It's embarrassing for you. It's embarrassing for me. She doesn't even fucking reply to you. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, I don't know. I'm not stalking her. that's one of my friend's girlfriends, and he wanted to know if she was cheating on him, so he asked me to follow her around for the day. And I'm like, dude, you're lying. I saw the DMs between you guys. Or between her not answering you. I saw the DMs. And he's like, what DMs? So I go on his phone to show him, and of course, there's nothing there. Y'all, when I tell you I wanted to literally jump over the couch and strangle this man, I really wanted to. Like, it took everything in me not to get physical with him, because when somebody is sitting there fucking gaslighting you and manipulating you and lying straight to your face whenever you know it's the truth and not taking you serious about a serious situation, it just really hits that one nerve. It really does. So now at this point, I'm like, oh, so you didn't put a tracker on her car and you haven't been stalking her for the past 3 months? We ended up fighting about it all night, and we did not fix any problems, come to a resolution or whatever. And he didn't even fucking apologize, even though I know that everything that I was saying was complete facts. So then the next day at work, y'all are never gonna you're probably gonna guess what happens. This bitch comes in to the spa that I work at, and guess who they send her to get waxed? Me. They booked her with me. So she comes in, we start talking, and we start talking about her job, OnlyFans. And I'm like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Do you ever get worried that there's weirdos out there who might like follow you and shit? Like, have you ever had any stalkers? And she was like, I mean, not that I know of. She was like, there have been guys that have became a little bit like obsessed with me, but nothing that's made me like super uncomfortable. And I'm like, oh, well, that's good. Just make sure that you're being careful. And then I make up this story about how my one friend did OnlyFans and how she had a stalker that put a tracker on her car and, following her around for months. She must have believed me, though, because 2 days later, she came back into my work and she was like, I'm not here for an appointment, but, like, I had to see you and tell you thank you so much. She was like, there was literally a tracker on my car. And I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? And she was like, yeah. And, like, apparently there are these magnetic boxes that people will stick to the bottom of their car that might have like a spare key or something in them, and she found one of those under her car, and inside of it, so then she pretty much just thanked me and told me that I probably just saved her life, and then she left. Well, y'all, listen to this. So I go home the one day, that same day after work, and when I walk in, my boyfriend's sitting on the porch and he's on the phone with what sounds like Jay, and he's like, bro, like, I don't know what happened to it, like, it's not on no more, can you go get me another one? And then I hear Jay say, bro, I'm not doing that, that's weird as fuck, I told you to stop this shit, like, it's weird. And he's like, fuck you, bro. And then hangs up the phone and then comes inside, and I'm sitting there and I got a smug smile on my face because I'm like, yep, no more stalking 18-year-olds for you fucking pedophile weirdo. I know you guys are probably sitting here like, girl, why are you still with him? Leave me alone, I know, okay? But I go through his phone again like a week later, right? I see a voice audio message that he left this girl in her DMs, and he's like, bro, can you please just answer me? Like, I really like you. I want to take you out on a date. I know it seems weird that I've been messaging you, blah, blah, blah. He was like, you should know I'm not the type to blow up somebody's phone or chase someone for a long time, da-da-da-da-da, but I really like you. So she actually messaged him back, and she was like, hi, sorry, didn't see any of your DMs before. Are you free this weekend? And he's like, yeah, I'm free this weekend. What you want to do? And she was like, I don't know. Maybe we could go out to lunch or something, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, sounds good. Which I'm sitting there and I'm like, how the fuck is this motherfucker going to do this when he literally has a fucking ankle monitor on? So the weekend comes up and I'm not even worried about this because I know that he was probably just lying to this girl. But then Saturday at 2 a.m, I wake up, this motherfucker's gone. And I'm like, there's no fucking way. I'm looking all over the house for him and then I start blowing up his phone. Doesn't answer. Nope. Well, then fast forward to like 6 a.m. I've been sitting on the couch waiting for this motherfucker to get home all night. He walks in and I'm like, so did you and Kayla have fun? He's like, bro, what are you talking about? Da-da-da. I'm like, no, we're not doing this again. And I told him I'm leaving him. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. And listen, y'all, I've said that time and time again. And he really thought that I was bluffing because of how many times I've said that and then never left. But I packed up all my shit and I went to my parents' house. Like, I was not about to be disrespected like this, like in my own home. At this point, it got to the point where he mentally fucked me up so much that I was trying to find any excuse. Like, I even told myself that maybe that was somebody else's Instagram account that he was logged into and it wasn't him sending her those messages. So, the story's not over yet. Nope. Barely. I leave him. Now, I've never left him before, okay? Like I said, he always knew that I was bluffing because I would maybe go to my parents' house for a night and then I'd be back. And it was embarrassing as fuck. But fast forward, a week goes by. I hadn't texted him. I hadn't called him. Nothing. I honestly stopped going to work I called off for a few days, like maybe like a week because I was so exhausted. So y'all know what they say, stay until you hate them. And I stayed until I hated that fucking man. So then, fast forward a few weeks, he starts blowing up my phone the one night. He's texting me, I miss you. Why would you leave me? I thought we were in this together. I'm so sorry for everything that I've ever done to you. You deserve the world, and I'm ready to give that to you now. Fuck these bitches that I've been fucking with on the side. They don't compare to you. Like, wow, what a nice compliment. Like, thanks. The fuck? So yeah, he's like, I love you so much. I'll prove to you that these bitches mean nothing. And I'm like, it's too late. You can't prove to me that these girls mean nothing because you've literally always put these girls above me. And he's like, bet, I'ma prove it. Come to the apartment tomorrow night. Now, I know y'all are saying, you stupid bitch, don't go. Y'all are gonna be happy that I went. I was happy that I went. Because I show up there. This motherfucker has that girl, Kayla, literally tied up in the living room on the floor. Yeah. I'm like speechless and I'm standing there and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, I did this for you. He was like, I'll kill her right now.
Oh, hell no.
And I'm like, no, don't do that. 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 And so now I'm trying to play it off. I'm like, babe, no, the fact that you did this alone just shows me that you're ready to take this relationship serious and that you don't give a fuck about these bitches. He's like, no, he was like, I did you so dirty. Like, I feel like I really need to prove to you that this bitch means nothing. And he points his gun at her. And I'm like, no, like, babe, like, actually, like, you're gonna ruin the life that we could have if you do this. Let her go. Da-da-da-da-da. Finally, I talk him into letting her go. She runs out of the apartment. She recognizes me and she gives me like one of those looks that like in disbelief because she realized why I told her the whole tracker story thing and everything. And then after that, I'm sitting there with him and the police show up to the door. Yeah. And so I get up, run over to the door, open the door, run out of there, and he's like, I love you, babe, blah, 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 blah. This is for you, da-da-da, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. He starts shooting at the fucking cops at the door. Yeah. They killed him. Like, they shot and killed him. But yeah, that's the end of that story. I mean, like, I got a long, nasty message from that girl, which I deserved in the end because I did know that he was stalking her. But yeah, guys, moral of the story, at least in my case, when I saw him pointing the gun at that cashier in the gas station, that should have been my cue to get the fuck out of there. But I liked having a bad boyfriend, you know, some hood dude who would protect me from I don't fucking know, his ops. So yeah, Moral of the story for you, you don't need a bad boy. I'm telling you right now, you don't need one. I know that inside of you, it's like when you see the nice guy, you're like, ugh, ick. And then when you see the bad boy, you're like, oh my gosh, that's the man that I want. You need to sit there and think into the future, not into the moment where you put them on a pedestal because you think that they're the most amazing person. And that's the thing, guys. Whenever you get attracted to somebody, you put them on a pedestal that they're higher than somebody else because they have qualities that other people don't. Meanwhile, they have qualities that other people have. You're just not willing to look at the qualities that these other people have that are the same because you've put them on a pedestal. You need to take that person back off of a pedestal, compare them to other people around, and be like, oh shit, this person isn't as special as I made them out to be. They're just like everybody else. And yeah, that's all. Okay, everybody, that is the end of today's story time. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, maybe hit that subscribe button down below. And if you want to know whenever I post my next video, make sure to click that bell. And if you want to send in your anonymous story time, or you want to know how to send in your anonymous story time, make sure to click the links down below in the description. But other than that, I will see you guys next time with a new story time.